Shadow self. This is wild stuff. Sometimes we don't realize that we can even be hurting the people around us because we could feel so low, so dark, so depressed, feeling like there's no hope. And we kind of just put on this facade that everything is okay, nothing's really wrong. Like in the movies, you ever see they're like a man's going through some shit, and then like their partner will always be like, "Yo, hey, is everything okay? Like, what's wrong?" And I was just like, "Oh no, it's nothing. Everything's okay." And like intuitively, you can look on the woman's face that it's not okay. It's not okay at all. And she intuitively knows this, but she also knows that the man's not just going to reveal himself because he's masculine, right? Hold in your tears, hold in this energy, no emotions, be strong in your power, be in alignment, physically be strong. Don't show weakness. Oh my God, that's a huge one. Not showing weakness. Man, I showed so much weakness when I was in my relationship. I, God, I was not a man. Was not, not anywhere close to that in a relationship. At times I was. Wasn't like I was a fucking, woman the entire time, but like I was definitely in a divine feminine energy. Um, Especially when things were getting weak, because that's what I like fell back to. And I didn't like being a person who was like loud and obnoxious and wanting to like show everyone like my egoic, strong, muscle building self. No, that's not me. And I didn't know how to be anything else. I think a lot of us get into that because it's like, okay, what's another identity that we kind of know about? And it's like, oh, what is the relationship with your parents? And then that gets really deep because I'm not much like my father at all. I'm probably more like my mother in a lot of cases. In some ways, it's a good thing. It's a really great thing, Then in other cases, I'm like, wow, if I was just like my dad in certain aspects of life. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I should just be my mom and be my dad. No, I'm gonna be all of me, but because I was born from them, you start to see traits of like, wow, I kind of act my mom in this way. When situations like that happen, I'm more like my dad. That's what happens. And because me being in that relationship when I was wounded, I couldn't be in my masculine. I was always afraid, wasn't I was afraid to take responsibility. I was afraid to be honest. I was always thinking, "Oh, we can just push it out till later. Oh, we can deal with it later. Let's not do it right now because I'm feeling like crap and people are wanting answers from me, but I'm not good enough to stand in the power and take the initiative and make stuff happen." I couldn't do it. When shit got hard, I was running away. That's that's wild. And now I'm just like, bring it the fuck on. I am so ready for whatever the fuck wants to come in my way because I've dealt with too much shit before and I've come so far that God's not just going to drop me on my ass and tell me, "Okay, you made it. This is enlightenment. This is the way. You don't need my help anymore, dude. You figured it out." God's not gonna do that. Oh, that's hilarious. Sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself, right? But yeah, God's not just gonna drop you on your ass. Be like, this is it. You got this far. It's over. There's nothing more to do. I probably still have a good like 80, 90 years left of my life. Maybe 70. Okay, that feels better. 70 years feels a little bit better. Probably living to be 100. Let's put it there. The big 1-0. Let's go. um yeah, and because it's like such a an archetype and it weighs more because there's a bigger collective of men happening, so it's like all energetically tied together when there's a lot of men out there that are suffering, being in their shadows, being wounded, not taking the initiative, not being strong enough, not being emotionally intelligent, you know Like that weighs so much on it. And like try and a man breaking out of that is tough shit. It is not easy. There's so much you got to go through the trenches of your emotions and feelings. You have to go through the trenches of like why you were afraid, why you were avoidant, why you abandoned people, places, and things in certain situations. Oh my goodness, there's so much to the shadow aspect. And you have to look at yourself and you have to start asking your questions like, why was I like this? Why did I run away? Why couldn't I just have the difficult conversations? Why couldn't I, you know, say something out loud, even if it meant I was going to trigger everyone's ego? What if I could have just spoke up, said something to alert the people that, like, hey, I genuinely care and I want to fix things. I just don't know how and I need help. Some people will look at you like you're crazy, okay? There's going to be some people like that. I had people in my life that were like, "The fuck are you talking about, Fox?" And then there's other times people were like, "Oh my God, thank you for asking for help. Thank you for speaking up." Because not a lot of men do that. Not too many. And when I started asking for help, I got help. People genuinely cared about me. Even people that I didn't even know. They were just like, "What can we do? What do you need?" And sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know what I need. And that is honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. That is one of the best fucking answers that you can give somebody. I don't know what I need. I'll tell you why. Because you're coming from a place that you're just like, I'm just here right now. I can't even think about what I need or what I want. I think I just have to be in this spot. And if you're a person, this is super important. Listen up. If you're a person that is around somebody and they don't know what they need, then one of the best things that you could ever say to them is this right here. Then we are going to sit here together until we can figure it out, no matter how long it takes. Be there with them until something arises. And I guarantee you, I 99% guarantee you, I don't want to be absolute here, but that person is going to be like, they're going to have this shift in their heart, in their nervous system. And they're just going to be like, no one's ever said that to me before. They're going to feel so seen, so cared for, so felt on levels they probably have never had in their entire life. Some have, very small percentage have. But you can be that one person that just says, it's okay not to know what you need right now. I am here for you and we're going to figure it out until we know together. And then that person is going to be like, they're going to drop so much into their heart and they might even cry. And then that's exactly what they need in that moment. Or something is going to come into the epiphany. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. If any of this resonates with you, please lay down some knowledge and wisdom. Because that'd be super awesome. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Because like I heard about a situation where like this woman, she was going through so much shit in her life, and she was like crying on the couch, and her boyfriend's there, and the boyfriend's sitting there, and he had a he didn't know what to do, and the woman didn't even know what to do because they were in such a hot mess. And he goes, we're just gonna sit here and talk and figure it out, no matter how long it takes. And then she felt this safety, this connection in that space with him. And then she was able to drop into her feminine, and then they were talking for the next like 5 hours on the couch. It just it was so heartwarming, it was so beautiful. And then that really opened my eyes of just like people just need someone, not even just to talk to, but to just listen and hold the space energetically. That's like one of the most important and powerful things one could ever do. I was in a session one time and just got done doing life coaching, breathwork, and energy healing. There was about 20 minutes left in our session, and I got through everything I needed to in a session, and I was like, my ego was like, what else can we do here? We finished early. He's still laying down. He's like still in that trance, that like, deep sleep. And then this thing came down and just like hold space. And I was like, okay. So I'm standing there, arms out like this, but I'm standing straight up. And I'm just holding it and I'm holding it. And then out of nowhere, I hear this loud yawn come up from my client. And then he like slowly stands up and he's like on the massage table and he's sitting over it. He's sitting on the side. And then he lets out the loudest scream, one of the loudest screams I've ever heard. And like we're in his apartment complex, and he's like, ah, ah, and was just letting out these bloody murder screams, just like one by one by one. And I'm just like, let it out, bro. I didn't say that to him, but I'm thinking in my mind, let it out, bro. You got this. And then he starts letting out bawling tears, huge tears coming out his eyes, snot coming down his nose. And he was just like, what did you do, bro? And I was like, bro, I- that last 20 minutes, man, I got the download just to hold that space for you. And then like he energetically dropped in so much to release on deeper cellular levels within his chakras, his organs, his nervous system, his neural pathways, his biochemistry, just releasing all of what he has kept from his past. He held on to so much, being abused as a child, being sexually abused, assaulted, getting his heart broken multiple times by his partners. Just he's gone through so much shit and he had to release levels beyond our imagination, beyond what we can even comprehend on a logical, scientific level. And that dude has evolved so much. I am so fucking proud of him. One of my I don't want to say one of my favorite clients ever, but like one of the best journeys I've taken on a client. We did 3 months together. We did 12 sessions, but we did it in like 2 months because I was about to move and he wanted everything in person. And I was like, we're going to quantum leap your reality. We're going to fast track your life. We're going to get you feeling grounded and free and connected and certain to keep moving forward no matter what the fuck is going to try to bring you down or throw you off balance or off your alignment, because you're going to be ready for all of that. And even if it does happen, you'll be ready, because then you'll be able to get back with the quickness. And that's one of the best things I get to help people do. Even if you fall off, how do you get back on? So I love what I do. Absolutely love how I help people. It's so powerful. It is sensational. It is impeccable. It's immaculate. I'm so grateful. And it's not just me, got the goddess, Jesus Christ, our source creator. Are you kidding me? It is like incredible. And then I also work with Albert Einstein and I work with Carl Jung, hence on the shadow self, the picture you guys saw coming into this lab, I think. So, yeah, it's like my holy trinity is like Jesus Christ, Carl Jung, and Albert Einstein with the work that I do. And then I just have it all connected to God, Goddess, Creator, Source, Universe. Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, it's kind of amazing. Changing people's lives, having them have hope, getting them to feel more free, liberated, grounded, connected, having more fun, playfulness, silliness, not taking life as seriously. It's amazing. I couldn't even do that for my fucking self for years. I couldn't do that. Now I'm just sitting here laughing with you guys, saying some pretty pretty gnarly shit. It's amazing. And it's like only the beginning. I have grown since I started like getting on YouTube, which was back in um September, like when I started like actually utilizing my YouTube channel. Um like I started it for a little bit and I kind of got off of it and I was like, I was like on and off like do I want to date YouTube? Do I not? Do I want to marry YouTube? Do I not? And I'm just like, you know what? We'll go all in on YouTube. That was a release. Okay. Beautiful. And I was really happy about it. And I've grown like over 103 followers since September of last year. So it's pretty cool. It's a different ball game. Subscribers on YouTube, it's a lot more selective. It's a lot more potent. Way deeper content. People's attention spans elongated, getting more focused, really dialed into like what the message and the knowledge and wisdom and how it resonates with the soul, how it makes us fucking feel inside. That's important. That's where the miracles are. That's where the connection is. And, learning about this platform has not been easy. You know, like, luckily, I know a few people that are doing super well on it. Like, one of my buddies, he has over 372,000 followers. 372,000. I was like, bro, he doesn't even show his face. And I'm like, dude, that's amazing. But he's been at it for like 5 years, so it makes sense. And then another buddy of mine, he's got like 25,000 followers. So, yeah, like people that I know personally, like I actually have like their phone numbers and we talk but then there's the people I follow, they have like, a few 100,000, a million, is what it is. But it's really cool. It's really cool and it's fun. And, you know, when I do these lives, like this is like where some of my potent energy comes in. This is like where I really get more silly, more connected, and just like it's like poetry that just like wants to come out about the shadow work, the having guns pointed at my face, having miracle healings from people with incurable diseases to like, you know, traveling across a fucking river to going to Costa Rica on a whim, about to be homeless on the streets and not knowing what's going to come next, how to pray to God, how to follow synchronicities to doing smudges to fasting to meditation and breathwork and energy healing and sound healing. Like all of these things. It's insane. But it's so cool. And it's so worth it. Me traveling to like all of these different countries and going through all of these different experiences, no matter how good or bad, I wish I would have done that instead of go to fucking college. Oh my God, my whole life would be so different. But it's all good though. I'm not stressing about it. But sometimes I wonder, having the curiosity, but you don't want to play the game. Oh, I just told this to one of my clients earlier. Do not play the game shoulda, woulda, coulda. You do not want to play that game. I play that game sometimes when I think about like my soccer days, like oh if I would have played with this soccer club instead of going to that one, if I would have ran more, if I would have, this, that, and a third, right? Just I miss soccer so much. But like I know it's my past. I can't really hang on to it as much as I used to. I just can't. And it sucks because I love watching it sometimes, not all the time. I used to watch it all day long, but then I was like, there's more to life. There's so much more to life. Let's meditate. Let's get outside. Let's, heal people. Let's bring people together. Let's have fun. Community potlucks, open mics, days in the river. Oh my goodness. So much better than just sitting at home watching a soccer game on TV. But I used to do that. I used to watch sports all day long. I used to like go to my buddy's house at like high noon. We would get high as fuck all day long And then we would just play video games, watch college football, and then, college football all day long, then watch the NFL on Sundays. That'd be my whole weekend. Getting high, eating food, going to CVS to get candy, maybe go to a party, watch football. That was it. That was my fucking life in college and even parts of high school. And then even after a few years after college, I was doing that. But I will say in 2021, that was like one of the biggest shifts of my life. I remember I was at a party. Actually, we were hosting a party at me and my roommate's house, and we had we must have had like 60 people over. It was a fucking banger. And it was like 2 a.m. and everyone's still there. It was loud. And I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm just slumped. And like I had this heavy feeling in my chest. And I was just looking around at everyone. They're talking, having a great time. And the music's bumping. And like I just had this thought. I'm like, I don't I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this anymore. Like we do this all the time. Like this is like all that we know. Like going to festivals, hosting parties, going out to dinner for people's birthdays, going out to the bar. And I'm like having this moment internally. Like I'm not even talking to anybody about this because I don't think anyone would understand. Or if you've seen The Truman Show, that movie with Jim Carrey, people would have been like, "Oh man, no, it's this is life, man. This is the party. This is why we're meant to live, you know?" I could totally have seen some of my friends be like the people who try to keep Truman in that show because they're just unconsciously doing it. It's not like they're aware of doing it. In the Truman Show, they were totally aware of getting him to like not leave the Truman Show, you know? Um, and like, but like people in the Truman Show, the people watching the TV, I see them as the angels. I see like my angels were watching me on TV and they're like, oh, is this the day that he breaks through? Is this the day that he finally gives up this life and goes on this adventure with us and all this stuff? And I'm like, man, oh, it's funny. I've never even said that before, comparing it to like that. Oh, I gotta make a video about that. Shit. Hang on. Um, Truman Show analogy. Sync story. 2 a.m. party. Okay. I gotta make like a whole video about that. Man. And then like the very like next day, or not the next day, but it was like later. Like I think was it after I got back from Mount Shasta? Was it before? It was like before Mount Shasta. It was like right after COVID kind of came back or COVID left. And yeah, it was like the summer of 2021. I like went to Mount Shasta knowing that like I had to do something different and all of this wild stuff happened to me. I'll explain another time about Mount Shasta. That's a whole video on its own. But then like I came back and then I was like, man, I gotta leave. I gotta leave this place. I have to leave this life. And people are not gonna get it. Hell, I'm not even sure that I get it, but it's something that I get to do, that I must do, and I need to. And I told my roommates, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be moving out. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah. Like I was that dude. I can hook everybody up with anything. I made so much money, made bank, all that stuff, right? And when they found out I was leaving, they were like shocked. 2 months later, I moved out. And the crazy thing was, I was at a cacao ceremony that was like 5 minutes from my house with like another part of town. And I'm there and I'm like talking to my friend and I was like, yo, I gotta move out of this house. Like I can't be there anymore. Like I'm changing. Like, I just can't be in those old vibes of drinking and smoking. She's like, oh, yeah, I know a guy that's looking for a roommate right now. And I said, yeah. And I was like, okay. I start talking with him. We're vibing. Everything's cool. And he's like, hey, I live literally like right down the road. Do you want to take me home? I can show you the house. And I said, yeah. Gets in my car, I drive him home. I'm in the driveway. And I said, I'm going to say his name, Jim. Jim, I don't need to see your house. I already know I'm moving in. I am moving into this house right now. Like, and he goes, okay, but you can still come in and see it. And I said, okay, I will. And I went in and I saw it and I was like, this is great. This is exactly where I need to be. This is exactly where I need to be. I moved in there. This was literally 4 blocks away from the house that I was currently living at. It was just in the next city over, the next suburb over. Way nicer area. It was on a main road, so it was a little loud. But here's the crazy thing. This is where it gets wild. 2 months into me moving into that new place, that same guy, Jim, tells me, hey, I'm selling the house and I'm moving to an apartment, a 1 bedroom apartment. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. I just moved in. I don't really have a job right now. I just gave up making the best money of my life because I can't be in that life anymore. I can't be with the drugs and all that shit, right? And then I broke down, I started crying, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? I cannot go through this. I just moved in. What is happening? And I prayed. I prayed every single fucking day, and it was cold outside. It was like November, October, November in Cleveland, Ohio. I was so crazy because I was so scared about what was going to happen in my future. It was snowing outside. I would walk barefoot in the snow, like 2 or 3 miles, because my mind was going absolutely bonkers. I was going insane. It was going crazy. My mind was going a million different directions all the fucking time because I was scared. My parents couldn't, my dad wouldn't allow me to move back in because of certain restrictions and viewpoints of life. I think you understand what I mean by that. I couldn't move back into the old place. I didn't have a solidified job to prove that I made income, even though I had a lot of money to prove. And I just prayed. I was like, God, I'm so sorry. Please guide me. Please tell me where to go. Please let me know. Like, I'll do anything. Just guide me. I'll do it. And then lo and behold, I was at a fire ceremony for the full moon in, what was it? I think it was Sugar and Falls, Ohio. And my friend's like, hey, look at this retreat house. I'm going to do retreats here in Costa Rica. I'm going to love it. And we're all like, yeah, we see you doing it, homie. Like, you got this. And then, I didn't think anything of it. But then, like, 5 days later, I'm at, it was like a Halloween party, so it was October. And then I'm at my buddy's house, bunch of people. And like, I went to go pick up I got some cannabis and I put it back in my car. And then there was this giant car in front of my car, and it had triple eights on a license plate, which is like abundant. Like triple eights, that's a great number to see if you're into angel numbers and stuff. They're all great, but eights is like money, abundance, expansion. It's amazing. But something told me to go look at the front of that car. I look at the front of the car, a Costa Rican license plate in Independence, Ohio. And I was like, what the fuck? And then to bridge this story, I kept hearing about Costa Rica. I kept seeing Costa Rica. I met 4 people on Instagram that year who were all going to Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica. That's synchronicity. That's literally one of the ways that God talks to us. That's literally the way, honestly. Costa Rica, synchronicities, and intuitively too. But externally, the synchronicities that feel good and in alignment for you, follow those. Incredible, has guided my entire life. I wouldn't be alive without synchronicities. So I booked a one-way ticket to Costa Rica, January 2nd. And I was like, man, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was about to be homeless in Cleveland, Ohio. I had no place to live. Can you imagine like having tens of thousands of dollars and you're like about to be homeless? I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And because like I knew there was no job that was gonna support me in the ways that I needed to because like everything was coming down. And I just knew I needed to get away. So I booked a one-way ticket to Costa Rica. I spent 2 months traveling Costa Rica, went to different cities. I met different people. I met one dude in Costa Rica who was also from Cleveland, Ohio. And we grew up 5 minutes down the road from each other our entire lives. And we never knew each other. We never knew each other before that moment in 2022, Costa Rica in February. Changed my whole life. And I was like, this is insane. And this dude's like a life coach and a guided meditator and has a beautiful fiance. And he goes, dude, this is my life. I coach people, I hang out in the jungle, I meet other really cool tribes and cultures, and we do fun stuff. And I help people. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, my mind trying to process that was like insurmountable. There was like no way that I could possibly comprehend what he was doing. I'm like, what do you do, bro? How do you get clients? Like like I was asking him like all these questions. He goes, bro, it's literally like alignment, it's your energy, it's the work, it's the connections that you make, it's how you serve. Like, I can teach you all of this. And I was like, okay. And I hired him. I hired him to be my life coach for 1 whole month. And I will say, it was okay. I didn't I wasn't like fully ready for it, but like I didn't understand everything that he was telling me at first. And then when I moved to Texas after coming back from Costa Rica and Peru, I was like, okay, I think I can be this life coach. I know I have to be this energy healer and guide people in meditation. And this is how I get to serve people. This is what I'm supposed to do for a living. I don't know how it's going to work because I didn't know anybody when I moved to Austin, Texas. I was like, I got to go figure this out on my own. And I have money to support me. So even if I didn't make a penny for the next like 8 months, I would be okay. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. I was like doing donation of Instagram live events. Like I would host like meditation and energy healing for 1 hour, and people from all over the world would just donate to me. It was amazing. Like one night, my first ever Instagram event, I think I made $700 in 1 hour. People were just coming in. I just found a way to donate to them. I would promote it as much as I could, and then people would donate during it, after it. I was like, what the fuck? I was actually doing this? Like it blew my mind. Um, and then I started doing it like every other week. And then somehow I would meet people and I would get a session, and some dude hired me and he paid me over $2,500 to work with him for like a month and a half. I was like, this is insane. I can really do this. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some trial and error, but it worked. I couldn't believe it. And then there was times like where I was making like 7 grand a month doing this business. And I'm just like, this is what's up. I can do this for the rest of my life. And then there's times like where I had to learn how to pause, take a break, where I had to like revamp myself. I had to evolve. I had to learn about more about like my feelings and emotions and like how to really get in tune with them, this flow state, listening to the intuition, putting my gifts out there. How do I connect with people on deeper levels? How do I like articulate my words on a deeper, more fun, but real and simplistic level? Because sometimes I would talk so woo woo, it would just like go over people's heads. Now I just combine science and spirituality in one, and then just make it's simple. Like not even an atheist couldn't even debate you. Bill Nye wouldn't even be able to debate the simplistic theory. It's not even a theory, it's just facts. It's literal facts that I spit, and people would just be like, "Yeah, you're right." But it would take a moment for you to grasp. So, Yeah, science and spirituality. You need one. You need both. Can't have one without the other. Can't. It's impossible. God is science. God is spirituality. God is energy. God is awareness. It's consciousness. Like that's real. Nothing created nothing. Something created something. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's fun stuff. I really like the work that I do. It's fun. It's always different. It's always a little bit different. I think one of the coolest thing is it's like when I'm working with somebody and it's like literally like what I've been through, like even it maybe not living on the same street, but living in the same zip code. Like that's how fucking close it is. Like I'm working with a client right now. He like literally reminds me of like my younger self. Like all his shadows, all his worries, his stressors, and like everything like that. Like, how do I grow into my gifts? How do I believe in myself more? How do I let go? How do I grow? How do I get so strong in my muscles energetically? Not just physical working out muscles, but like energetically, how can you like work out your muscles? You know, how do I evolve my nervous system? How do I regulate it? How do I fix my mindset? I'm like, bro, he wanted to become a Reiki master. And in our first session, I asked him a question. I was like, bro, what's troubling you? What are you worried about? Why do you feel so heavy right now? Like, what's going on? And then he told me all this stuff. And I was like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to be a Reiki master, you got to work on yourself first. All of your energies, all of your shadows. I can help you do that. We will go through the mud. We'll go through the trenches. We'll fight the demons in the ring. Got our boxing gloves. We're going to fucking win. No questions asked. And then I'll teach you to become a Reiki master. So what was 3 months of working with me has now become 6 to 9 months. At the very least, 6 months. And he was like, I'm all in on this. I want to serve people. I know what you can do. I've seen you. I've experienced you in Austin, Texas. Let's fucking go. I've never seen a dude. No, I take that back. I'm getting more people that are just like, I'm so certain this is what I get to do. I'm so fucking ready. Let's hit the ground running. I love those people. I love working with those people. One of my favorite things. It makes it so much easier for them to talk to them, to get them to relate, to open up, to really trust within themselves and trust me in the process and the connection that we are building coherently, expansively. Miracles. Divine miracles. After the first session, this dude got 2 new clients for massage therapy. He wasn't even looking for new clients. They literally came up to his door. Both of them did within like 3 hours. He got 2 brand new clients at massage therapy. He just started like this new job at this very high end place that even he was like, I don't even think I belong here. I think everyone's better than me. I think everyone's judging me. And I was like, bro, chill, chill. We're going to fix this for you right now. We are. Me, God, Goddess, Source, and Him. It takes all of us. It's not just me. I'm giving myself credit because I've done a lot. And I'm the one being here. My body, my vessel, my human suit. And I'm just channeling because and connecting to their soul, connecting to their nervous system, their energy. And I'm just relaying exactly what they're telling me. I'm reflecting it back to them. Then it's like, oh, I've also been through this. Let's relate. And then like, yo, understand where this came from. Yo, let's evolve. Let's heal. Okay, let's heal first and then evolve, right? It's fascinating stuff. And after just one session with me, he literally got 2 new clients for massage therapy, literally today. And he was like, I can't believe that even happened. They just knocked on my door and were like, hey, I want a session. I was like, that's the magic that happens. Because when in our first session, we did breath work, we did energy healing, we did a lot of coaching, we did a 2 hour session. I don't really do 2 hour sessions with people unless they're becoming a Reiki master. But if it's like life coaching, it's usually just 1 hour. maybe 90 minutes if you're down, but 2 hours, it was a lot. Like I had to go outside and ground for like a half hour. But he released so much, he felt lighter, he felt more confident. Because like when you release old energies and you bring in new energies, your vibration changes. That's the law of vibration. And then bada bing, bada boom, the law of attraction changes. And then you start to bring in what your vibration is being internally. And it's a reflection of the external. It's simple. It's simple laws of hermetics, simple laws of the universe. Because everything is energy. Science proves that. It's electromagnetism. We're energetic beings having a human experience. Science also proves that us humans can conduct electricity, right? Science. Energy can either be created or destroyed. Einstein proved that. So, what the fuck does that mean? We are alchemists. We can literally change the vibration of shit, of anything. Sometimes it takes a few more people to change some other things. I understand that. But at least for ourselves, okay? You can make stuff happen. And that means we can manifest a lot of things too. Science and spirituality. I literally base my work on Christ consciousness, Carl Jung's shadow work, and synchronicities, and then Einstein's just energetic tactics. It's fucking incredible and it's powerful. Simplistic as much as I possibly can. I don't try to make it woo woo. Well, I make it a little woo woo because woo woo can be really cool and it really gets people to think outside the box. But my holy trinity of like people that I'm listening to and channeling is basically Carl Jung, Albert Einstein, and Jesus Christ. Shit. Combine science and healed energy. Fuck yeah. That sounds dope. Who the fuck wouldn't want that? You know? I remember one time I was in Costa Rica. It was the second time, previous time last year being there. And I was at, where was I? Fuck. It was like a farmer's market. And this dude was like selling bowls. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm on the path of God. And he kind of got shook by that. And he goes, oh, I don't really believe in God. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay. That's on you. If that's your story, that's your experience, then by all means. And he goes, yeah, and then I could tell he was judging me hardcore. I could just feel it in his bones. And I was like, well, can I put it to you in another way? And he goes, what? And I was like, well, you believe in science, right? And he goes, well, yeah. And I said, okay, great. Then you shouldn't have any problem listening to this then. And it was literally like what I just shared with you guys. Everything is energy. It's electromagnetism. Science proves that we're electrical beings, can literally conduct electricity. We can literally manifest anything. It's literally our just divine connection and how we regulate to our nervous system. And this dude was like, you couldn't even talk. He was trying so hard to have a counter argument against mine, and he just couldn't because I made it science based. Go figure. So just just incredible stuff. So it's taken me a while to figure this out. It's not like I figured this out overnight. I listened to some people and then like what really clicked with me, you know, and just combining it all into like my own thing. And I'm just like, yo, this is what works. And if you want to go even deeper, Carl Jung's work, the subconscious mind remembers 93 to 97% of everything that's ever happened in our lives, consciously and unconsciously. That's fucked. Like, that's fucked. All that gets stored in our bodies because the body's the subconscious mind. The book, The Body Keeps the Score. All the energies get stored here. Any trauma, any bad shit, any low vibes. And because we live in a society that focuses more on the negative things, slowly changing. Yes, I understand. I understand that. But a lot of people focus on the bad, and we can't be doing that. No way. So that's why we do breath work, energy healing to clear out the energies of the body. Simple. A little hard if you're not used to it. But like you get that out, you start to heal the mindset, then you start to, really embody some really good energies, feelings and emotions that you really want. Focus on the things you do want. You're good. I couldn't do that alone though. I had some help. I've done a few retreats. I've done one plant medicine ceremony with mushrooms. I've never done ayahuasca, even though I'm wearing a Cusco hat and I went to Peru. I did not do ayahuasca there. Never done it. And because I know a lot of spiritual people who've done ayahuasca, some of them have done it like 20 or 30 times. And I'm just like, I, you might be insane. You might be pretty insane. So, yeah, it's a wild world we live in. I don't really recommend plant medicine too much. I think if you do anything, I think the mushroom journey is probably your best bet. Do it with a one-on-one guide with someone that you've worked with, that you trust, and that they can lead you and hold the space for you and explain everything that they're going to do. I think that's one of the best things. I would not jump right into ayahuasca. Oh, and if you're thinking about doing ketamine therapy, don't do that shit either. That shit is whack. I have seen it turn people into zombies. Does that turn everyone into zombies? No, but I've seen people and it's turned them into zombies. And they were like never the same person ever again. I had a good friend. He did it. He went through like a whole fucking thing. He really believed in it. And when he got done, he was not the same person. And I really liked the person that I met the first time. And I tried to help him out in different ways. And he just couldn't find his own footing. And then it felt like he was being controlled by like some kind of dark entity. And I felt so bad for him. Um, yeah, just he was just getting like false hope from like a false light in some ways. And just damn, like he could have been really good at a lot of things. He could have helped a lot of people, but he's shortchanging himself right now. Highly doubt he's listening to this video. But if you are, being honest, being brutally honest, because I fucking care about you. But you don't message me back. You don't even ask me how I'm doing. I've asked you how you were doing in simple messages, and you don't do anything. I've done so much for you. It is what it is what it is. We can't help everyone. I've tried. It's impossible. Damn, there's so many people I tried to help. I'm just having flashbacks right now of all those people. Even the people I haven't even physically met, just people that have called me on the phone telling me it's like, I'm feeling like shit. I have no hope. I want to take my own life. Life is not worth living anymore. Just all this stuff, you know? Most of the people have been able to help though, but there are some people that were just so down and out, and I'm just like, I'm not the one to save them. But I don't want to say that no one can be saved because I do feel like everyone has the opportunity to be saved. There's no doubt about it. But there's some people who won't be. But everyone does have a chance to be saved some way, somehow. Just the way of synchronicity, the way of the energy flows, divine timing, what it's happening in the moment. So it's pretty amazing, though. All of it. So, all right. Well, it has been about 50 minutes. I am so happy to have been able to hold this space, to have you guys watch and tune in. That means the world. And yeah, continue to shine your light, believe in yourselves. If you feel called to work with me one on one, I have details in the description. You can email me. thefoxwellnessden.com or the foxwellnessden at gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram too, Alexander J. Fox. Um, you can look at my website, thefoxwellnessden.com too, and see how you can work with me. You can attend my live breathwork event April 20th. Go to my website, foxwellnessden.com/events. $35, 1 hour journey. Very powerful nervous system reset, transformative, calling in more miracles, feeling lighter, grounded, feeling more free. One of the best things I ever get to do for people. Breathwork and energy healing. I've hosted so many events in Austin, Texas, and here in Cleveland, Ohio. Um, Man, I used to do this stuff like 2 or 3 times a week at like anywhere from one person to like 70 people in a room. It's insane. People screaming at the top of their lungs in Texas, like releasing all this stuff they've carried with them for so long. That's like one of the most beautiful things. It's crazy. It's a lot of energy. I like legit have to like take no clients for the next day or two. And I'm like, I gotta rest and recharge because like I just helped 50, 70 people, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. So, all right, y'all. Big love, big care, big miracles, and may the universe continue to show you how much it loves you. All right. Namaste.